Hi, a very good afternoon to all of you. Okay, so now that May has started, okay, so some of the important exams will be your Ashoka, ISIs, right? And then once, of course, the May gets over, right? Then you have Madras School, right? And of course, IFT in between that. And post Madras School, you have two of the most important exams. Why I'm saying important? Solely because of the tag of these two institutions, one being IIT Delhi, right? The other one being IIT Kanpur. Okay. Now we all know कि IIT Delhi took admission via IIT JAM exam as well. Okay. And they came up with additional 15 seats. ठीक है. अब additional 15 seats का जो logic है, that's very clear. ठीक है. I'll get into that later on. But it has nothing to do with the fact कि IIT Delhi को बच्चे नहीं मिलते हैं, उनकी seats vacant रहती है. That's not the case. Honestly, that's not the case कि वो additionally 15 seats लेकर आते हैं. But we'll get into that in some other session. ठीक है. Now, IIT Delhi with its own tag and IIT Kanpur with its own tag. ठीक है. अब आप सभी को पता है कि IIT Delhi is doing a separate entrance exam for these additional 15 seats, right? वहां पे आपका एक पेपर होगा, that's a separate paper. It has nothing to do with JAM या any other thing, ठीक है? वहीं similarly कानपुर का अपना खुद का एक पेपर होगा, ठीक है? So let's discuss what exactly both the entrances offers and why is it very important at the same time. Not only important, but it's very tricky for students. ठीक है? Not only academically, but also feasibility wise थोड़ा tricky है. That is the reason I wanted to discuss this, because काफी बच्चे they are kind of in a dilemma situation. ठीक है? Especially the ones who are coming from outside Delhi or outside the northern part of the country. ठीक है? क्योंकि the date of the exams, okay, that is playing a very vital role. ठीक है? Let's look at over here. अगर आप यहाँ पे देखोगे, let's start with IIT Kanpur. तो IIT Kanpur का as of now, they have written it as tentatively, but as of now it's 7th of June. ठीक है? कोई दिक्कत नहीं है अगर 7th of June है, right? Let's see IIT Delhi. IIT Delhi का है 9th of June, which is a day after that. ठीक है? अगेन कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, स्पेशली अगर हमारे स्टेट सिटी में अगर इनके सेंटर्स होते फॉर एग्जामिनेशन, कोई बड़ी बात नहीं थी. बाकी सारे भी हमने एंट्रेंसेस दिए थे. वी कुड हैव गिवन दिस एज वेल क्वाइट इजीली. बट द पॉइंट हियर इज कि 7 तारीख को आपको आईआईटी कानपुर के कैंपस में जाके एग्जाम देना है. ठीक है? यू हैव टू विजिट देयर कैंपस. यू हैव टू बी फिजिकली ओवर देयर, राइट? और फिर वहां पे जाके आपको अपना रिटर्न टेस्ट देना है. करेक्ट? एंड देन पोस्ट दैट यू विल हैव टू कम बैक टू दिल्ली, राइट? अगेन आईआईटी दिल्ली का पेपर भी आपको आईआईटी दिल्ली के कैंपस में देना है, एंड पर्टिकुलरली लेक्चर हॉल कॉम्प्लेक्स आईआईटी दिल्ली का. So on 7th you gave a exam, and then right on 9th morning, which is 10 to 1 morning, which means you just have one day in between and you have to travel a lot. Okay, when I say travel a lot, I literally did this Google map thing and see what's the exact distance between the two. So as you can see, it's approximately around 500 km, right? 500 kilometer of distance is there, right? So if you're going to travel by road, it's going to be quite hectic for any one of you, right? Until and unless you're traveling via flight or something, that's a different altogether. But that is also tolling. Okay, it takes a toll. You have to reach airport 1.5 hours before, then at least an hour's flight, then come back, and also that also takes quite a lot of time. Correct, but of course, fairly easier than going by road. So there is so much in between these 3 days that you will have to go through, not only academically, but in terms of keeping your mind fresh, intact for the coming exam. ठीक है? पहले एग्जाम के लिए तो you might be as fresh as possible. You can reach IIT Kanpur before that, right? And then give your exam, right? But the moment you wrap up your exam, you have to move on for IIT Delhi के लिए भी, correct? So no time to explore IIT Kanpur as well. That is another point. ठीक है? So now the point is कि अब ठीक है, it happens कि दो पेपर है, but more or less हमारा जो कंटेंट है, हमारा जो प्रिपरेशन है, वो सेम लाइंस पे होगी, तो देन ऑल्सो इट्स फाइन, विल बी एबल टू मैनेज. हमने एक पेपर दिया, एक दिन जाके फिर भी हम एक और पेपर दे देंगे, ठीक है. बट दैट्स नॉट द केस है ओवर हियर. आईआईटी दिल्ली का जो पेपर है, दैट इज ऑन द लाइंस ऑफ आईआईटी जैम का पेपर, इन टर्म्स ऑफ सिलेबस, इन टर्म्स ऑफ क्वेश्चन क्वालिटी, द लेवल ऑफ क्वेश्चंस. ठीक है, अगर आप यहाँ पे सिलेबस भी देखोगे, दैट वी हैव शेयर्ड मल्टीपल टाइम्स, तो आप देखोगे एग्जैक्ट कॉपी है, एग्जैक्ट रेप्लिका है ऑफ द सिलेबस फॉर IIT JAM Economics, except of Indian economy. IIT Delhi doesn't focus on theoretical approach. They are very practical, quantitative approach and everything. That's why they eliminated the Indian eco part. तो इनफैक्ट जो बच्चों को इंडियन इको दैट्स थियोरेटिकल उसमें इशू आता था, सो दैट इज सॉर्टेड. नाउ यू हैव एग्जाम, यहाँ पे थ्योरी नहीं आने वाला, एटलीस्ट फ्रॉम इंडियन इकोनॉमिक्स साइड, एंड देन नाउ यू शुड बी सॉलिड इनफ टू गिव योर पेपर, राइट? So this paper of IIT Delhi is more or completely aligned on IIT JAM. ठीक है? Whereas IIT Kanpur का जो पेपर है, that is of not that level in terms of the level of questions. अगर आप यहाँ पे देखोगे, they have part A, B, C, जहाँ पे B in particular is talking about English and logical skills. ठीक है? Then you have maths and stats in part A, that is college level. अगर आप topics भी देखोगे, they're very elementary. You have already done these, correct? And lastly, the third part, which talks about introductory economics, they have categorically mentioned key boss, it is CBSE class 12th level. So you can't compare Kanpur ka entrance exam with IIT Delhi ka exam. So you have to shift gear. You have to make sure कि now I am out of कानपुर के एग्जाम का जोन से, आई हैव टू सिट फॉर अ इवन मोर टफर पेपर अ डे आफ्टर दैट. ठीक है, विच इज ऑन 9th. ठीक है, सो यू हैव टू बी मेंटली प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर बोथ द पेपर्स. I know it sounds and looks very tough, and I agree to the fact, because itna close timeline hona is not the right approach, especially with so much at stake. Okay, and that too coming from these top reputed institutions. Ki your admission at IIT Kanpur is at stake, your admission at IIT Delhi is at stake. So there is a lot on the table, because of which you will have to bear these 3 days. And make sure you are fit enough, you are strong enough, you are academically strong enough as well, कि you can give papers for both the institutions. ठीक है? So that is one thing. Now the point is कि IIT Kanpur has selected around 150 to 200, at least last time तो यहाँ तक गया था कि ranks coming from that range, they were selected for the written test. तो हमें बच्चा काफी सारा होगा. ठीक है, और IIT कानपुर के टेस्ट के लिए बच्चा कहाँ से आया है? IIT जैम के पेपर से और गेट इकोनॉमिक्स के पेपर से. इन दो पेपर से अकॉर्डिंग टू those two papers, they consider it as a round 2 for themselves, and वहां से उन्होंने बच्चे select किए based on the rankings, based on the marks, and then called upon those students for the round 2 at their own campus. ठीक है? So that is for IIT Kanpur. And like I told you, कि हाँ, before I head to IIT Delhi and how is it, right? Now what you can prepare, how you can prepare. ठीक है, देखो जहां वो पार्ट सी की बात कर रहे हैं, they have mentioned like categorically CBSE class 12 का is good enough. ठीक है, लेकिन we are a student of economics, we have done it at bachelor's level, we are a student who wants to do masters in economics, तो हमने entrance के लिए preparation की होगी, चाहे वो CUET हो, चाहे वो IIT हो, चाहे वो GATE हो. So we have already kind of done that, but now what remains is to brush up, to revise. So कहने का मतलब ये है, there is nothing extraordinary, there is nothing extra, there is nothing out of the box for which you will have to specifically prepare. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है यहाँ पे. ठीक है, So just make sure all the topics which are they have mentioned specifically उनको आप करो and revise as much as possible. ठीक है? And of course, for English and logical reasoning, what I tell is कि practice is only the key to that. ठीक है? आप अगर पोर्टल पे जाओगे, there is complete section on general aptitude. ठीक है? 10 अलग अलग पेपर है, 10 अलग अलग पेपर में हर एक वैरायटी ऑफ लॉजिकल रीजनिंग का क्वेश्चन है. ठीक है? हर एक वैरायटी पॉसिबल का रीजनिंग क्वेश्चन है. यू कैन प्रैक्टिस फ्रॉम देयर. सेम फॉर इंग्लिश. ठीक है? नाउ कमिंग टू मैथ्स, again they have mentioned very college levelish maths. For that, basic and intermediate level is sufficient enough. Need not even go for advanced level until unless certain topics you want to practice even more. ठीक है? जिसकी रिक्वायरमेंट आई डोंट थिंक सो यहाँ पे इतनी होगी. ठीक है? सो दिस इज अबाउट IIT कानपुर. ठीक है? वो कहाँ से किन बेसिस पे वो राउंड 2 कंडक्ट कर रहे हैं, कहाँ पे कर रहे हैं, and what is the syllabus for that, from where you can practice for that. ठीक है? So in fact for part B, for any other student as well, आप अगर चाहो तो CUT के पिछले साल के पेपर्स आप उठा सकते हो, वहां से पार्ट बी भी आप कर सकते हो. ठीक है? I'm just trying to help all the student possible कि if you're not enrolled and if you want to practice, that is the best source. Just pick up the CUT का part A till last year and that's fine. ठीक है? तो उससे आपका पार्ट बी यहाँ का हो जाएगा फ्रॉम CUT का पार्ट ए से. ठीक है? ये हो गई बात IIT कानपुर की. ठीक है? नाउ IIT कानपुर का एग्जाम होगा, उसके बाद रिजल्ट्स आएगा, देन अकॉर्डिंगली यू विल बी गिवन एडमिशन. राइट? अभी इसका एडमिट कार्ड नहीं आया है. जस्ट इन केस मेनी ऑफ यू वुड हैव दैट क्वेश्चन कि एडमिट कार्ड कब आएगा. आप सभी ने अपने एंड से रजिस्ट्रेशन कंप्लीट कर दिया है. द लास्ट डेट इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग वाज 12th of April आफ्टर एक्सटेंशन. ठीक है? वो आप कर चुके हो. लेट्स वेट फॉर द एडमिट कार्ड, क्योंकि ऑफ कोर्स अभी एक महीने से भी ज्यादा है. सो देयर विल बी सम टाइम. सो मोस्ट लाइकली पोस्ट 15 शायद आ जाए, पोस्ट 15 या 20th मई के आसपास आपका एडमिट कार्ड आ जाए. सो दिस इज अबाउट IIT कानपुर. राइट? So this will be the second batch through this mode. ठीक है? Through this mode I mean round 1 via IIT JAM and gate का score, and round 2 at their own campus. So this one in particular is the second batch, meaning the first batch has not yet completed their full course of 2 years. अभी वो complete होगा. ठीक है? So this is about IIT Kanpur. Now coming back a day later after that, which is on 9th. ठीक है? IIT Delhi. ठीक है? IIT Delhi is again, it's kind of a blessing for students, especially the ones who feel कि मेरा jam अच्छा नहीं गया, for multiple reasons. And I honestly believe all those reasons because first time you're writing a paper, ठीक है? An entrance exam, and of course of that structure, of that status of IIT Delhi, of IIT JAM, तो हो जाता है कभी कभार you tend to make silly mistakes, and because of that here and there 1 mark वहां पे game just slightly changes. Cool. But they gave you another opportunity of additional 15 seats, right? And this exam is again at their own campus in Delhi, starting very early in the morning, which is 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., a 3-hour exam. Correct? All the details, we have already done that. Now, once you complete your IIT Kanpur ka paper, you will move to IIT Delhi, give this particular exam, and then accordingly wait for the results. Same process, nothing separate. And of course, for this also, the admit cards will be again released post 15-20th only, because they also have another more than a month to go for that. Okay. So this is, I'm not getting into the additional seats wala part. Okay. Look, anyhow, whether it's 10, 15, 5, as long as they are offering you additional seats, you have another opportunity, another shot to get into IIT Delhi. So make sure you make the most out of it. ठीक है? अब कानपुर का तो हमने देख लिया हम किस तरीके से प्रिपेयर कर सकते हैं. ठीक है? यहाँ पे हमने ऑलरेडी देखा हुआ है कि जो सिलेबस है आपका आईआईटी दिल्ली के एग्जाम का, दैट इज एग्जैक्ट कॉपी ऑफ आपका आईआईटी जैम का सिलेबस, ठीक है। वी हैव ऑलरेडी सीन यहाँ पे, आई जस्ट गो थ्रू एक बारी और, 1 second, so that it's much easier for. Okay. ऑफ कोर्स एलिजिबिलिटी भी उन्होंने मेंशन किया हुआ है यहाँ पे, ठीक है। हाँ, ये करेक्ट, एमएससी इकोनॉमिक्स का ये आपका सिलेबस। आप चाहो तो इस सिलेबस को जाके एक्सेल के एक सेल में डाल दो, और आईआईटी जैम का सिलेबस उठा के एक्सेल में डाल दो, और दोनों को इक्वल टू कमांड दे दो, इट विल फेच यू रिजल्ट ट्रू, ठीक है। इट्स एज सेम एज दैट, एक्सेप्ट ऑफ कोर्स इंडियन ई को हटा देना, वरना फॉल्स आ जाएगा तो आपको होगी सर गलत बोला। तो माइक्रो लो, मैक्रो लो, ठीक है, and stats लो, mathematics लो. So of course the point is कहने का कि the syllabus for IIT Delhi का paper is almost exactly of IIT JAM. I'm again repeating that, except for Indian economy. ठीक है, you won't find much change इसके syllabus में and JAM के syllabus में, ठीक है, which means you have already prepared for that, you have already revised for that. Now you have to work on your weak points and make sure you do it again, ठीक है। अब इसके लिए हम क्या प्रैक्टिस करेंगे? इसके लिए आइडल प्रैक्टिस है, आईआईटी जैम के पास्ट ईयर्स आप कर सकते हो, दूसरा आईआईटी जैम के आप मॉक टेस्ट कर सकते हो, ठीक है। ये दोनों चीजें इसके लिए आइडल एप्ट प्रिपरेशन है, ठीक है। अगेन, don't waste time on Indian economy questions from IIT JAM के past years and IIT JAM के MOOCs, ठीक है। आपको अगर करना है प्रैक्टिस, just skip the Indian eco part and move on and save your time, ठीक है। प्लीज, जस्ट बिकॉज वो उससे मैच करते हैं, बट प्लीज लुक एट ओवर हियर, यहाँ पे इंडियन इको नहीं है, करेक्ट। So you don't have to even attempt it. You don't even have to see that question. Move on from that. ठीक है? So that is the ideal approach of practice for that. Now, again, in case you wish to practice and appear for the mock test, ठीक है, of IIT JAM, right? So this is our IIT JAM Economics mock test series that we offered all the students. Okay, for our course enrolled students, that's already part of the course. They have already accessed at the time of JAM paper. Okay, and now again, I have suggested all of them to follow the same approach, past years and mocks, excluding Indian eco questions. Okay, so even if you wish to kind of enroll for the mock test. There are total 10 mock tests available, okay, completely based on IIT JAM ka paper with video solutions as well, okay. So you can enroll for the mock test, which will help you in IIT Delhi ka preparation, okay. So I have told you for both IIT Kanpur, IIT Delhi, everything possible, okay. And with that, I'll just end by showing you once again how much time will it take if anyone wants to uh, kind of travel from Kanpur to Delhi for their respective both the exams. Okay. Now, I know not many of you would be sitting for both, correct? Because Delhi is something जो हर कोई कर सकता था, in the sense it was open for all students, चाहे उन्होंने IIT गेट IIT जैम दिया नहीं दिया, चाहे उन्होंने गेट दिया नहीं दिया, या उन्होंने कोई भी पेपर नहीं दिया, it doesn't matter. All the students who wanted to sit for Delhi, it was open for them. ठीक है, आप दे सकते थे irrespective आपने जैम दिया गेट नहीं दिया. But in case of so which means कि IIT Delhi में there is a bigger set of students sitting for that particular exam. But whereas in IIT Kanpur, the students were already filtered down in round one based on the GATE and JAM का score. ठीक है, so वहाँ पे number of proportion of the students will be fairly less. So only, of course, those handful of students will have to kind of manage, because I know all of them will be sitting for Delhi as well, and they should be. ठीक है, अपॉर्चुनिटी चांस ऐसे ही नहीं आते, अगर आते हैं यू नीड टू टेक देम, करेक्ट। सो अगर आप सब दोनों ही पेपर में बैठ रहे हो, आई नो इट्स गोना बी टफ, बट इट इज वर्थ इट इफ यू आर एबल टू मेक इट एट ईदर ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूशंस, ठीक है। So that is it. With this, I'll just wrap up this session and hope if any one of you is not sitting in particularly for 12th make a ISI, then you would have started your preparation in the direction of Kanpur and of course Delhi ka as well. Okay. So that's it from me, and we'll meet in subsequent session with more such information. Thank you so much, guys.